You see here nicely textured popcorn stitches, 6 stitches. I'd like to show you how to make these popcorn stitches. First I'm going to show you how to make them, and then I'd like to show you how to work in them. So those two things I'll be showing you in this video. To make the popcorn stitch, you go to whichever stitch you want to make the popcorn in. I'm going to take this position here, and in that position you make 5 double crochets. So I'm going to go here, and then I'll work 5 double crochets. Now, usually a popcorn is made with 5 double crochets, but there are situations in which a popcorn is made with trebles or with 4 doubles instead of 5, or with double treble. So there are different ways, but usually this what I'm showing you now is the most common way. So I have here 5 double crochets. Now comes the little trick to do the popcorn. I'm going to open up this loop, and I'm just going to hook it onto my finger. That's because you don't want to accidentally drop this loop. We come back to the first of the 5 double crochets. That's this stitch here. And I purposefully made it next to a chain so that you can very clearly see where the popcorn starts, that you don't confuse it with whatever stitches are next to it. So you come back to the first of those 5 doubles and you insert your hook. Then you pick up the loop that was on your finger and bring it back onto your hook and close the loop. We're now going to pull the loop through the first stitch, and that's going to tighten and make these stitches pop. See, I'm going to pull it through the stitch. Then to complete the popcorn, chain 1. Some designers do not use this chain 1, so always double check to see if that chain 1 is part of the popcorn, yes or no. Usually there is a chain 1. That is the popcorn stitch. I'll show you the stitch one more time. I'm just going to chain 2. That's just to move up a little bit. And come to the next position where you want to make a popcorn stitch. So for example, this position here. And in that position make 5 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 double crochets. Open up the first loop, open up this loop and hook it onto your finger, your working yarn. Come back to the first of the 5 double crochets and insert your hook through the top of the stitch. Pick up your working yarn, bring it back onto your hook and close the loop. Now pull the loop through the first stitch and chain 1. That completes your popcorn stitch. To work in the popcorn stitch, and I have my work from the back, you see there are the popcorns on the front. Let's say in this chain space I want to work 2 double crochets. So I'm just going to work 2 doubles in there. 1 and 2. Now I need to work a double crochet in the popcorn. Now if you just take a moment to look at the popcorn, we'll take it from the front. See, here are those 5 doubles that you pulled together. That is the chain 1 we made. and if I just take my hook out, here to the right you see there's the stitch that we pulled. That's the first double crochet where we pulled our working loop through. Now to work on a popcorn, some people like to work here in this chain space, and some people like to work there in that space to the right of the popcorn. So that's the first double crochet. Both are okay. I have seen people do both, so whatever is easier for you. So if we look at it from the back, there's the chain one, and if you kind of open up the popcorn, you see there's this space, which is now to the left, is that first double crochet where you pulled your stitches through. I usually take this space because it's easier to work in. The chain one can sometimes be a bit tight. So to work a double crochet on the popcorn, I would then take this space here, that space, which is, if your work is now to the back, it's to the left. And if you look at it from the front, you can see that it's to the right there. So, and then complete the stitch. So let's say here this chain space takes 2 doubles. Just quickly going to work those. Then we're at the next popcorn. Now let's say I now work this one in the, I want to work this one in the chain one space. On the chain one that I closed the popcorn with, that would be there. You can see that really is a bit harder to get into, because here's the space, and then that there is the chain one, and because it is harder to get into, I sometimes don't even bother with this chain one space. But there we go, that's it. That's a chain one on that you use to close the popcorn with. So if you look at it from the front, you can see it's slightly more to the left. See, this one is slightly more to the right of the popcorn. I've actually split my yarn there a bit. And if we do it again, here chain 2 doubles, and then again I'm just going to take this space here to the left of the popcorn. That is just much easier. And if you look at your work from the front, you can see how you've worked this popcorn in there, and that one there, and that one there again. Brings us to the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching.